All right, so this week we did Dead, which we're talking about zombies. And so for this segment is our favorite character from a zombie story, video game, or movie. Mine is Bill Murray from Zombieland.
My favorite character from a zombie story is Clementine from the Telltale games, The Walking Dead.
Mine would have to be Ty Burrell's character on the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Mine's definitely Barbara from the Night of the Living Dead remake.
Favorite character from a zombie something something is Troy from the Halloween episode of Community.
Get away from those hotties!
Where he's dressed as Sigourney Weaver from Alien. Boom slam. First one is World War Z by Max Brooks. And Max Brooks, I would say, is like the forefather of modern zombie literature. He also wrote the Zombie Survival Guide. Just the way he formatted it as interviews from a past war was just kind of ingenious, and I'd never seen anything like that.
And I bet you were excited about the movie coming out, huh?
I don't want to talk about it.
I'd rather have cancer than watch that movie.
I'm gonna watch it and give it a fair trial.
Judgment time. The sentence is death.
Return of the Living Dead was my other one. That's really great for totally different reasons. That's like, basically I said this earlier, but it's all the things that I love, which are punk rock, zombies, and 80s films in one movie. And it's awesome and it's fun.
And it's hellishly frightening because the zombies cannot die in Return of the Living Dead.
And they talk to you, which I loved. They'll fuck with you in Return of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
They're like,
The
no, come
zombies
here, I don't
will-
want to hurt you. But they're gonna eat
The
you.
zombies will talk to you, they'll chase you,
Yeah.
and you can't kill them by just shooting them in the
Why do
head.
you eat people?
Not people. Brains.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Mine's gonna be the original Night of the Living Dead. That is like the granddaddy of all zombie movies. Yes, there were a plethora of zombie movies that happened before the 1968 George Romero Night of the Living Dead, but that one was the staple. It started a whole lot of trends that so many other films, video games, comic books use to kill a zombie, including Walking Dead. And it's such a bleak ending. All 7 characters. Please, I hope you've all seen Night of the Living Dead.
Spoiler alert.
Nobody survives Night of the Living Dead.
So if anybody in the 60s watches this movie...
Yes.
Grandma?
And it's a big trendsetter. I mean, God, 1968, you have a lot of racism going on.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we have an African-American male lead hero in this.
Who could have survived.
Who could have survived. But the backwater douche white folk outside with the shotguns, pop them in the end. Terrible, but an amazing movie.
And so my number one choice, for me, it has to be The Walking Dead, in both the comics and the show. I think that they are expertly made. I think that Robert Kirkman is a fucking baller. The characters reinvent themselves through events that happen and the stories that are told over and over and over again and become better, stronger, more interesting characters because of it.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology.
Even just talk about the character arc that the comic allows it. Like, you could have a character that you think you know who turns out to be someone you never thought they could be. You never thought they could be. In the comics.
So one of the other things that I really think that the show is doing well is I like that they are constantly updating the content creators, and the show has only gotten better since it started. If you love a character, you better not love them that much, because they're gonna fucking go.
I'm gonna commit suicide if Glenn ever dies.
Mr. Burgundy, you have a massive erection.
Or Daryl. Along with many, many other women.
And ladies and gentlemen, now for our least favorite representation of zombies.
Least favorite was Warm Bodies. That's a book.
Go away! Read some books!
And it is basically the equivalent of the Twilight series to zombies.
I bet you're also looking forward to that movie coming out too, aren't you?
Well, actually, I've heard good things about the previous, like the comedy of it. Because when you read the book, it's very much entrenched in, this young teenage girl that's in love with a zombie.
To make a Breakfast Club reference, she is aching for a cold beef injection.
That is disgusting. maybe I missed the comedy that was supposed to be derived from that book, but I feel like the screenwriters maybe knew what to do with it. So I'm not gonna.
I'm intrigued by the trailer.
I'm withholding judgment.
So mine was Dead Alive, which I really love for the fun of it, but if you look at it objectively, it's a terrible movie. Peter Jackson was a terrible filmmaker back then. There was terrible special effects, like really god-awful special effects, really god-awful acting. Everything about it's terrible. But it's fun if you're into that sort of thing.
My worst is, of course, a Yui Bowl film. His House of the Dead was just baffling how terrible and schlocky it was on all levels of production.
It was a nightmare.
Doesn't this bother any of you?
What do you do when there's no way out?
We send them back to hell.
The House of the Dead.
It was an abortion, is what it was.
So my least favorite zombie movie, and the only recognizable actor in this movie is Ving Rhames, who was already in a zombie movie, so he's chasing this shit as far down the road as he can.
Yeah, he is.
But the movie is called Zombie Apocalypse, and I watched it once with a couple of my friends really late at night, and I just could not fucking get drunk enough to appreciate this movie. So basically what happens is a bunch of people wandering around in the LA and Hollywood countryside, and there's like 7 fucking zombies in the whole movie with the worst special effects. Spoiler alert, there's 2 zombie tigers which end up fucking fighting, and one throws the other one into the ocean, and apparently that kills a zombie tiger. So if you want to get really drunk and waste 2 hours of your life, get together a bunch of friends and watch the shitty Ving Rhames movie. Otherwise, if you want to watch 10 minutes of regret, keep watching our show. Oh, disconnected from Xbox. God, it's all going down. I'm so cold. Oh, it's on my feet. It's on my feet. Okay. Pee.